Uh, oh, hold on. It's doing something. There it is. Okay, let me tell you what I just did. Uh, for those of you who were on the last one that was here for like a minute, I had to go change my resolution and my bit rate to make sure everything looks good. And then I started another stream and I was like, why am I not getting any chat? Why isn't anybody showing up? It sets to private automatically. I streamed to like nobody for 4 minutes. I am a professional. I'm a professional. I'm so good at my job. but we're here now. We should be good. We should be seeing the live chat right now. If anybody comes in, we should be seeing viewership here in a moment. It's getting there. We're good. That's good news. I also am was getting yelled at by Elizabeth. Just texted me. I'm debuting a new hairstyle in the stream. I got a little bit of it. Oh, there they are. Sure enough. Defaults. I know. Also, I'm gonna do this. Check this out. Okay, this is pretty cool. So I got a new little doohickey because I've been using a prompter for my videos for a while. And I got a new prompter, the Elgato prompter. And what's really cool about the Elgato prompter is that I can use it as a third monitor. So my chat's right here in front of me right now. I'm reading it and I can look right at the chat and read it like I'm looking right at my screen. So that's pretty cool. I know I was gonna get a trim. That's what the plan was. And then I went there and I was like, you know what? Just cut it like shoulder length. And we'll see what it looks like. Do something new, do something different. We're still messing with it. Still getting it to where we want it, but it is different. You're not gonna say it here in chat, I don't think, because you're mean, but thank you for texting me that it looks good. I appreciate it, Liz. I appreciate it. Anyway, we're just getting the stream set up. Now it's working. Now things are good. They're actually working the way they're supposed to. Oscars are tomorrow. We're gonna do the yearly Oscars stream tomorrow, as you know, as we do. And we're going to do some fun stuff there. Just be me so far. No guests planned or anything. Last year it was my brothers. The year before it was Liz. I think this year it'll be just me. Super Sentai. I have not seen Super Sentai itself. I've seen like Power Rangers, obviously, which is, from what I know, that's what it's based on, is Super Sentai, or that's the thing that Saban was like, that's mine now, and took that and made it into his own thing. But yeah, I've not seen Super Sentai itself. I've only seen Power Rangers. Trey. But thank you for hello. Glad you made it. Glad to see people are coming in. We're just hanging out. We're chilling all max, and we're chilling out max, relaxing, all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of the school, as the man once said. Speaking of him, he's gonna be at the Oscars tomorrow, apparently. I don't know if that was all just a bunch of clickbait articles, but Mr. Will Slap Smith himself is gonna be back at the Oscars, despite the fact that they banned him for like 10,000 years, apparently. And I guess that didn't mean anything. He isn't banned. Yeah, he's not. He is no longer banned. No longer banned anymore. How is everybody doing? Is everybody having a good day? I hope you're having a good day. I had a decent day. Went and, got my hair done and went and took my brother's shopping to get some video games at a nice game store local that I found some goodies at. I got some good games. I'll have to talk about this later, but it's my year of the gamer. I'm going to go into detail about that a little more. Baked a cake. Let's go. I hope it was a good cake. Have you heard about... I have not heard about a new Hannibal Lecter book. Is it Thomas Harris? Did Thomas Harris write it, or is it like a spin-off thing from someone else who has the property? I'd be interested in reading that, because I've read Red Dragon and Silence of the Lambs. I haven't read Hannibal. And you read some books. I have not read any books today. Myself. I have not read books today. I've played games today. That's what I've done. I'll find if the cake's good on Tuesday. Yeah. Is the cake a lie? That old meme. But yeah, we'll find out on Tuesday. What's poppin', dude? It's poppin'. It's poppin', Chris. It's all poppin'. Poppin' like crazy. Drinking my Coke Zero. The Coke that's good for you. Not the bad Coke. A lot of people will yell at you if you're doing weight loss of any kind and be like, don't drink Coke Zero, it's the aspartame. And it's like, do you know how much Coke Zero you would have to drink to even have that seriously affect you, the aspartame in that? That's crazy. That's a fear-mongering thing I don't buy. The scale goes down when I drink it. That's what I know. It's about the pop culture around Lecter. Okay. I'd be interested in that. I would be interested in reading that. I'm a fan of course, The Silence of the Lambs is one of my favorite films ever. Fan of the books. I haven't read Hannibal. I didn't care for the movie very much, but I don't know if the book's much better or not. I'm not sure. Love the Hannibal TV show. Love that show. Very much. What are my thoughts on Transformers? Well, I love the Transformers. I got into Transformers around the time of the Bay movies. That was like 07, 06 when the hype was building up for that. And you know, people kind of crap on the Bay movies quite a bit, including myself. I have a lot of issues with them, but one thing you can't deny is that they really help people get into Transformers, including myself. Like, if that movie was not coming out when it was coming out, I wouldn't have got into the cartoon, the old show. Like, I watched the show from watching that movie and from the hype around the movie. And then Transformers Animated came out in 2007, and that's a banger. Certified banger. I'm working on a Transformers project right now, and I won't say anything else about that because it's a big one. But it's funny you should ask. Hello, David. Brian Rafferty is the author. Wrote another book about how 1999 was the best year for movies. It's pretty big. That's a pretty big claim, but he's not wrong. A lot of bangers came out in 99. It's hard to pick what the best year for movie was, or at least what your subjective opinion of the best year for movies was. Myself, I'm a big fan of the 70s. I always will be. I think the 70s had a lot of groundbreaking films, both in the mainstream and independently, that really were just new and different, and really kind of a radical departure from like the studio-led systems of the 30s to the 60s, where the 60s really started to change that. The 70s ran with it, and you could get stuff like Star Wars, and you could also get stuff like Cassavetes movies coming out around the same time. And that was what was really cool about the 70s. So if I was going to pick a best year for movies myself, it'd probably be something from the 70s. Ever seen Beast Wars? Yes, I have. I love Beast Wars. It's been a long time since I sat and watched Beast Wars, which I will be doing again at some point. But yeah, love Beast Wars. Love me some Beast Wars. Some great voice acting in that show. I even dropped a little reference to Optimus Primal when I did my Nightmare on Elm Street video, because the actor that plays Optimus Primal is the sheriff in Freddy vs. Jason. So I made a little joke about that. Mason, is your favorite movie? Yes. So, to answer your question, yes. Sinners is my 2025 movie of the year. Still is. I have seen it. I think I logged in on Letterboxd like 6 times. A lot of those were in theaters. Love Sinners. I'm looking forward to a Sinners sweep tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna happen because the Academy can be cowardly for that movie for a couple reasons. One, probably most importantly, the all-black cast, which notoriously doesn't get treated very well at award shows, sadly, and in like awards talks, but also the horror genre as well, which is primarily it is a horror film. That is the genre that it inhabits, and horror does not get treated very well at award shows as well. So this kind of has things going against it. However, the nominations are crazy, and I'm so happy for it. There's no cynicism in my heart towards that movie getting that much accolades and that much love and joy around it. I am so excited for Sinners, man, and I can't wait to see what it's going to take home tomorrow. And I hope you all be here for that with me, to celebrate it with me. Dude, Farewell to King. Hell, dude, we get one Rush fan every once in a while that mentions the Rush Farewell to King shirt. This is my favorite Rush album. I also bought, you can't see it on camera, but I've been redecorating kind of the room and the office space here, and I put some records up on my wall there, and that's one of the 4 that I put, like my 4 favorite records kind of in rotation, and that one's up there. A huge Rush fan, massive fan of Rush. Thank you for the love of Farewell to Kings and learning Madrigal on guitar. That's so cool. Madrigal's such a pretty song, man. Such a pretty song. I did not see Scream 7. I have strong opinions about that. I'll to put it very shortly without Tim making up the whole thing. Scream 7. It's a shame that Scream eventually made a Stab movie. Like, if you've seen Scream, you know what I'm talking about, right? Where like Stab is the parody series that's in Scream. Like, the fact that they actually made a movie that would make fun of is really sad from what I've heard about Scream 7. And the trailers did not appeal to me. I didn't like the way they treated Melissa Barrera, I believe I hope I'm getting her name right, the actress who spoke up pro-Palestine and anti-genocide, and she got kicked off the movie. And I feel mixed towards all the actors that were still involved in it, knowing that, and that makes me kind of sad. But yeah, I haven't seen Scream 7. Maybe I'll check it out in a way that I don't have to support the studio. I also hope Sinners sweeps. I've not seen The Day the Earth Blew Up yet, but I am going to. I think it's on Max now, and I will be watching it. Very excited to see that. I've heard great things, and I've also seen incredible animation from it. Like, the animation looks so good. You and Eddie Trunk would get along just fine. I used to watch that metal show when it was on. I used to watch that on, it was on VH1, I think is when it was on, and I used to watch it after school. Sinners one battle after another. Yeah. Those, I think, one battle after another, I think I'll just say it here. I think that's going to take it in terms of Best Picture and also Best Director, just because PTA has not gotten his Oscar flowers yet for Best Director. And I see them doing that. Like, I really see them actually doing that for him. And I'd be happy to see it, but I also... Ryan Coogler would be incredible. We do have great Best Picture nominees this year. Like, really good. I think so. VH1 Classic, that was it. So I tried to see Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. I tried to see it. And it was not playing in my AMC. But I'm hoping to, because like it's one of those movies where I want to see it with an audience, because that's how they tell you gotta watch it with an audience, because the comedy just helps when you're in a room full of people for a movie that funny. But I have not been able to get like a ticket to a place that's close to me. That's not like an hour away, unfortunately, but I do want to see that really bad. Yes, it's because of PTA, it's probably gonna get it, but I'm not disappointed by that. I did love One Battle After Another. I have seen Flow. I watched that before last year's Oscars, and I loved it. And it's getting a Criterion release, I think. It's getting a Criterion disc. I must work way too much. I haven't seen any of these movies. I understand. That's how I felt about video games last year. I watch a lot of movies, but some other hobbies don't get that, which is why, like, this year, I've joked about this on my Patreon. I made a video talking about this, where this year my big goal is to play more video games. My year of the gamers, year of the gamer. What's up, Lapis? How you doing? Welcome in. My year of the gamer is going on right now, and I've been playing a lot of games this year. I've beaten a lot more than I did last year already. I've played more games than I did last year. 28 Days Later. I have seen all of the 28 Days Later movies. And the last one I watched was actually the last new movie I watched was The Bone Temple. I watched it with my friends Becca and Maddie, and I loved it so much. I think that movie was awesome. And I really hope that, even though it didn't do well in theaters, it does well enough on rental and streaming and things like that to get the third movie made, because they want to make a trilogy. That's no spoilers. They have said from the outset they want to make a trilogy. I hope it does well, because I love that movie. That movie was awesome. If you haven't seen 28 Days Later, and 28, I'm sorry, if you haven't seen 28 Years Later and 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, see those movies. They're fucking awesome. They are so cool. Flow Criterion was released, yes. I did hear about Frankenstein and K-pop Demon Hunters getting to the collection. Frankenstein does not shock me because Del Toro and Criterion kind of have a good relationship, and a lot of his movies are in Criterion already, going back to like Kronos. K-pop Demon Hunters, people are, if you're upset about that, and I don't think people here would be, but like some people on Twitter, and they're always upset about something, we're kind of mad about that. But here's the deal. One, Demon Hunters is a very culturally significant movie without a doubt, even if you don't care for the movie, which I really like it, but even if you didn't care for it, you can't deny the impact that it had. And also, that's a good business decision, because that's going to get a lot of Janus film restorations done. The money they're going to get from the K-pop Demon Hunters Criterion Blu-ray. So that's good news both ways for me. PS4 Spider-Man game is amazing. You can swing around actual Manhattan. I have played the PS4 Spider-Man game. I have never beaten it myself. My brother did, because he had the PS5 with both those games on it. Great game. Great game. There's my favorite Spider-Man game is a different Spider-Man game, though. Bone Temple got my favorite performance from Ralph Fiennes. He crushed it. He crushed it in that movie. My ma thinks Sinners is mid and that horror shouldn't be at the Oscars. You know, you're allowed to have those opinions. Even if they're incorrect, you're allowed to have them. Your mom is allowed to have them. Let's see here. Ever tried Smucker's jam? I haven't. Not a fan of jam or jelly. This is going to be the year of the gamer for me, too. I started playing Final Fantasy IX for the first time. I have not played Final Fantasy IX. I've played 7. I've played 6, the actual 6, like the one that's called 3 on Super Nintendo. Those are my Final Fantasy games. I'd love to play more of those. Let's see. If you had a choice of a few movies to come out to Criterion, what would those be? And also, if you had to name one above the rest, what would you want that film to be? Criterion discs. This is a weird one, but it's odd, and I know it's never going to happen because I think Arrow Video has the rights to it, so I'll pick another one just in case. But I saw fan art of the Ninja Turtles movie, the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie. Someone had done fan art of what that would be for Criterion. It's like the turtles sitting around the campfire with Splinter sort of like force ghosting in. That would be really hype for a Criterion release, and I love that movie, but I think Arrow has the rights to those. So a movie that's not on Criterion that I think would be a good Criterion movie, I don't know. I have to think about that. I have to really think about that one. Watched Artemis Fowl for the first time on Tubi. I heard some pretty rough things about that one. I read an Artemis Fowl book when I was in, I think maybe 4th grade. I think. So that's the last time I ever really engaged with that property. Shattered Dimensions. Let's go. Let's go. Amazing game. Final Fantasy VI is fantastic entry into Final Fantasy. Yeah, that was my first one. The Super Nintendo one that's technically, it's like 3, but really it's 6 because of their weird naming conventions where they had a whole bunch of them on Nintendo Entertainment System for Famicom, technically, that were only Famicom releases. Which, by the way, I saw a Famicom go on auction the other day for like $40 in the box. I hope it worked. That would have been pretty cool to have in the collection back here. Speaking of which, auction-wise, let me show you something. I'm going to show you guys something pretty cool. 1 second. I'll be right back. I walked right into my light. Almost burned my eyes. Okay. Look at this. So as you know, I'm a collector. You probably couldn't tell from the amount of things behind me. And I have a few laser discs, but I have been displaying them kind of on my walls because I don't have a laser disc player right now. I have like a way to just display them. Look at this. It's a Big Trouble in Little China Japanese laser disc. Super cool. Won this in auction for a really good price. And I love it. I love this movie. And I love Laserdisc. So that's a cool collector's piece to have. Any opinion on the PS5 not having a disc player? No positive opinions on that. That's just something I have in general about games right now, especially playing some classics and pulling, like being able to start the Year of the Gamer off by just like pulling whatever I want off my shelf and playing it, right? You open the player, you put the game in, you don't have to install it, you don't have to go through about 15 different steps and put in your home address and sign your soul to Moloch or whatever to play the damn game. You just played it. And so I think the PS5 not having a disc player and the fact that consoles now have that option to be like, hey, you can get the cheaper version that doesn't have a disc drive. And it's like, we're just moving toward the adage of you will own nothing and be happy. Is kind of, that seems to be the mentality of studios and developers today. And I really don't care for that much. I get it's a better price. And again, I know a lot of games like disc-wise are just ways to install the game now. But to me, that just, you're robbing consumers of something that they paid for, because you can shut down that service of that game any day and it's just gone. And I think that's really bad, you know, because people are like, oh, it's like they shut down some service for like, I don't remember what game it was, but they shut down a service for a game that like wasn't necessarily great. It doesn't matter, you paid for it and you got to play it. So not happy about that. Oh, my mic is acting up. I saw the levels doing some weird shit. Are we good right now? I'm not touching it. Let me monitor it real quick. Sounds good on my end. Maybe it's through you guys. You can hear? Okay. I saw the, I'll keep it meters over here. Oh, it's doing it. It just did it again. I saw it. I'm sorry about that. I think there's a short in my cable. I'll be sure to fix that by tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. It looks good. But just making sure it's working. Let's see, Lapis here commented. I know this is gonna be on brand for me, but I don't know if it has anyone. I don't know if it has one already. I want Craig Casino Royale to be a Criterion release. Yes. Okay. So, Lapis, great friend of the channel, classic executive producer, been since that tier was available, has been watching the Daniel Craig Bond movies for the first time, loving them. I love the Craig Bond movies, and I think that's a valid opinion to have, that Casino Royale should be in Criterion. I think that's valid. I really do. I think that movie is culturally significant enough to get it. I would argue that. Thoughts on Milo and Otis? I watched that in, oh my goodness, I watched that in like 5th grade. Isn't that the movie where famously behind the scenes they didn't treat animals very well to keep it, you know, keep it on the down low? Ever watch Phineas and Ferb? Oh yeah, hell yeah, I watched Phineas and Ferb. Love that show. We finally meet new friend. I'm glad to meet you, Jesse's Mansion. My eyes, I did get my eyes checked and getting some new glasses hopefully in the coming weeks. So like, I apologize if I miss somebody's name. It's just I gotta read it here and try to make sure it's right. Yeah, that movie had some rough behind the scenes details there, because it was filmed in like Japan or something. I don't want to I don't want to put that on Japan. I don't know where it was filmed, but they didn't have good animal rights laws for the production of that film. So you must know my thoughts on Emperor's New Groove. Dude, certified comedy classic. Certified hood classic Emperor's New Groove. One of the funniest movies ever made. And I will die on that hill. I think Eartha Kitt gives one of the finest voice acting performances in the history of voice acting. Rest in peace to Eartha Kitt, as always. Absolute legend. She stayed voicing that character in even like the spin-off movie and in like Emperor's New School TV show. And I grew up watching both of those things. Like I watched Emperor's New Groove, and then I bought Kronk's New Groove as soon as that was available. Not a great movie, but I have fond memories of it. And then I watched Emperor's New School like on Fridays on Disney Channel or whatever. So, fan of that one. Glad to see the streams working. That makes me happy. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Jack Connor's reaching Gary Oldman levels. Yeah. I think whatever he does next, man, whatever he does next, I'm there after Sinners. And like the performance of Sinners specifically is difficult because, again, I don't want to completely spoil Sinners for anybody who hasn't seen it, but his performance in that is very unique because he is, advertised as the villain, and he very much is the antagonist of the film. There is a certain, I guess, belief that people kind of thrust at him in the movie that he walks the line of, I don't actually believe that way, I have another reason for what I do, and he handles that very well in his performance because that's not easy to convey at all. So yeah, Remick in Sinners and Jimmy Crystal in the Bone Temple. Did you guys hear about in the Bone Temple, the villains in the Bone Temple are like a group of people that are basing their look off of Jimmy Savile. I didn't know who Jimmy Savile was until after Becca and Maddie and I watched 28 Years Later. And at the end of the movie, when that character shows up, they explained to me who that was because they're a bunch of like true crime fans and they know about all that kind of stuff. I didn't know who that was. And I don't think a lot of people in the US did either, because there were people that were dressing up as Jimmy Savile to go to the Bone Temple premieres and things like that. And people were like, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't know who that is. I didn't know either. I don't blame them 100%. Maybe that's just our American, ignorance there. But yeah, that's a fun little behind the scenes story. Not so funny, but made me laugh a little bit. Working on a video ranking every post-Renaissance Disney film from Fantasia 2000 to Bolt. Oh, that's awesome. It's a lot of work. It's a tall order. That is a tall order, but man, ranking is fun. I did a Pixar ranking live. I did a DreamWorks ranking. I'm gonna do Disney one of these days. I know I'm gonna do it, but like that's a lot, and I don't know if I want to break it up into like kind of what you did, where it's like the post-Renaissance, the Renaissance, and maybe like way before, like pre-Renaissance. I'd have to think about how I want to do it. I talked about it a little bit with chat once. That's something I've been thinking about, but I look forward to shoot that video to me on social, or if you ever join the Discord, shoot that over on Discord or mention it in the comments. I'll find it. I'll watch it, Jesse. I'll check it out when you get that done. Jimmy Crystal and my brother stopped eating popcorn in the theater. Yeah, that whole group was something else. A lot of great actors in that movie. Great character actors. Disney TVA ranking. Yeah. One of these days, maybe. There's a lot. Disney's got a lot of stuff to rank. They also have a lot of shows that aren't fully available places. Like one of my earliest videos was on the Buzz Lightyear cartoon movie, the movie they made before they made the cartoon. And the animated series is just like not available on Disney Plus. And you would think it would be. And that's disappointing because I remember watching that show on Disney when I was younger, and I I don't know where to watch it now, unfortunately, except for like rips online. Yeah. Yeah, I won't read that just in case. But yeah, I agree with you, Nicholas. It's awesome. Great movie. One of the reasons that I decided to go live, not just to test the streaming and the camera and all that good stuff for the Oscar stream tomorrow and make sure everything's working all good. One of the reasons I did this as well, and I hope you guys are open to it. I was talking to somebody very important to me about kind of what I'm going through up in the attic here. I've been working on a lot of videos, like a lot, writing wise and filming wise and all that kind of stuff, and want to put out a lot of really good stuff for you in 2026. I know the first video of the year was like a month in, and it took a long time to make. It was that nightmare video, which I'm very proud of, and I think turned out very well, but it took a long time to make. And I don't want my videos to take forever to make, but I also want them to be like up to quality. And one of the things I've been dealing with is really great ideas that I think are going to be really good for videos, and I'm excited to make, but the writing process can be very difficult. I think a lot of people deal with writer's block in their own unique creative way, and I was advised by my dad to, hey, go live to your people, talk to your people, and kind of talk to them about like your, what you're going through with writer's block and with trying to make sure you're making the best stuff. And maybe they could tell you how they deal with it, if they're writers, if they're creatives, what do they do to kind of get past those things and to keep going. And I think that's really good advice. I've just 30 minutes into this, I've really enjoyed the conversation so far. So if you're making something, if you're creative and you're working on something and you're working your butt off on it, and you have the writer's block, and something I've gotten, and maybe a little bit of hesitation that what you're making is not as good as you're hoping it's going to be, or people are going to really enjoy it. How do you deal with that? And what's your advice for dealing with that? And if you're going through it, I send sympathies to you, and hope you'll send sympathies to me as well through that. But just something else to do. It's just chat to interact with, like, to interact with the people that I make videos for at the end of the day, and to touch base with people that are like me, because sometimes it can be a little lonely sometimes in the world where even though you got really good friends that support you and care about you, you're looking for that group of people that you can really talk to, which is what the channel was, and always has been, as a bit of an outlet for me of these things that I can't get out of my head, and I got to put them somewhere. I got to take it and put it somewhere. And the videos are that. So, I'm really liking the therapeutic nature of it lately. It's helpful. Have I heard of Bionicle? Yes. I was never a kid that played with them. I never really watched anything they made of it. I saw the oh my god, what was it? The Mask of Light trailer I used to see a lot on VHS when I was a kid, but never watched the movie. But I know what Bionicle is, but I'm not an aficionado in it or anything. Participate in chat, yep. I've ranked Fantasia 2000, Dinosaur, Emperor's New Groove, Atlantis, and Lilo and Stitch. Let's go. Good for you. I'm a fan of Emperor's New Groove and Stitch and Atlantis quite a bit. Dinosaur, I have mixed feelings on, because as a kid I enjoyed it because of the dinosaurs. Obviously, I was a big dinosaur head as a kid. But as I got older, I didn't care much for the story of the movie all that much as I got older. Bionicle makes me nostalgic. I'm sure it does for a lot of people. How many banned episodes of TV have you seen? Elizabeth and I once watched that episode of Cow and Chicken that had some interesting, to say the least, caricatures of lesbians, which is why it was banned. We watched that together once. That's an banned episode right off the top of my head. I don't know how many I've seen overall. working on a bunch of things like co-creating a Batman fan project. I can't say things about video series like doing Marvel Rivals, Ultimate Lines. I've seen some of those. Good luck on all that. Reading some of these. Yeah, the Buffalo Gals is the name of that episode. Yeah. Land Before Time did dinosaurs better. Yeah, I agree. Land Before Time hits every time. I watched one of the sequels a lot when I was a kid of Land Before Time. I didn't see, like, I don't think I've ever seen the second or third Land Before Time, but I watched the first one a lot, and then there was one about going through the mists or something, because, like, Grandpa was dying or some shit, and I remember that. That was one I remembered a lot as a kid on VHS. That's a weird one, but it's one that comes to mind. Looking at my playback here. I try to look all over the place when I'm talking, but I have, since the chat's on my prompter, I'll look right into the camera, and I know that could probably be weird, so I try to break it up a little bit. But I'm just getting used to it, getting used to that setup a little. Let's see. Has anybody played, in terms of gaming this year, anybody play Resident Evil 9 Requiem? Anybody play that at all? I did. Played the hell out of that. Easily my favorite game of the year so far. That's not saying a lot, as it's the beginning of the year, but love that. One of the big things that helps me is drawing upon a lot of the things I love from creators that I love and aspire to. Sharing my stuff with fellow art and friends and getting thoughts. Yes, that's great advice. Thank you. That's great advice, Lapis. It's one of the good things, like talking to buddies about it, you know? Requiem is awesome, Nicholas. It is. It's fantastic. It is a combination of, like, everything that I love about Resident Evil as a series. Like, my favorite Resident Evil games, my two favorites are RE Remake from 2002 on GameCube and RE4. And Requiem does both those things very well. It does the sort of exploration and horror stuff that was like in 7 and in the original remake very well, and then it does the badass, like, Leon Kennedy doing spin kicks and backflips and shit in Requiem very well. It does, like, that half from RE4 very well. Leon Kennedy, my husband, I would go to war for that man. So, you know, I mentioned this to some buddies, but in real life, in IRL, straight as I can be, I'm a straight man. In the digital realm, however, I'm a bisexual in the digital world only. Not, to be honest, not a big RE guy. Wish him the best. Yeah, not for everybody, but I'm a big RE fan. Huge Resident Evil fan. Playing through a lot of them this year, going back just in preparation for Requiem, and then that got me into playing a whole bunch of survival horror games. I made a whole video about this on the Patreon, just talking about my survival horror obsession this year. That's like Requiem, that's like the OG Resident Evils, that's Silent Hill 2, my beloved, my game, my love of my life video game, Silent Hill 2, and even like Dino Crisis, I did a little bit, and that's fun. I'm happy they brought Leon Kennedy. Yep. Yeah, Silent Hill has been having a bit of a comeback recently. So my plan this year is I'm going to play them all because I love Silent Hill. So I replayed the first one and beat it, and now I'm playing the second one currently. I got the Even if you look, I have the case up there. I'm playing it on my PS2 right now. And I'm going to play through 3 again. It's been a while. Play through The Room. I have not played F, the newest one. I have not played it. And I'm excited to play it because I heard good things. And then I've never played the Silent Hill 2 remake. The Silent Hill 2 remake, I may have to eat my words on a little bit. I was one of the, like, naysayers of the remake from the first trailer and just kind of swore it off after that. And I didn't pay attention to anything after that. So I even made a joke in a video that I just don't care about Silent Hill 2's remake. And I wasn't interested in it. And then it came out, and fans of it that actually like it are like, no, it's a good remake. They did a good job. So I will have to play the remake, and I'm excited to do so. I've heard they did it justice, and they did a nice tribute to the original game. I'm a bit of a stickler with the original game, as like it's something I consider like holy ground, but we'll see. I was pretty skeptical myself as well, Nicholas. I was. A blizzard is setting in South Dakota. Go check out the Oscars tomorrow. Well, I hope to see you tomorrow. Hope to see you tomorrow, Andrew. I hope you have a good one. Favorites, Devil May Cry. I've never played a Devil May Cry. You'd be surprised. Never played a Devil May Cry. I would love to. May try it this year. It's the year of the gamer. May do it. Have you seen Sailor Moon? I have seen bits and pieces of Sailor Moon. I was not someone who grew up with it. But I do enjoy it. It's fun. It's kind of your iconic magical girl thing. Kind of like set the tone for it in a lot of ways. But I have friends that are bigger fans of it than me. And I probably, if I wanted to get into it more, which I do, I could probably have some friends educate me on Sailor Moon a little more. I think the remake's great. I do miss the original's interesting voice work. Yeah. Play it. I'm encouraging you. I will play Devil May Cry. Absolutely. Thank you guys for the encouragement. I will play Devil May Cry this year. Add it to the list of the year of the gamer. It's the year of the gamer. That's what it is for me. They say it's the year of the horse, and while I respect all cultures, it's the year of the gamer for me. Checking on my stuff. I have also determined that I will play games on stream this year. I will do it. I've been teasing it for a while and kind of being a baby about it because going live can be a little intimidating. I'm not going to be intimidated this year. We're going to go live and play some games. Probably, I imagine after the Oscars, I'll do it. Or maybe even, I don't know, maybe we could start quicker than that. I don't know. Right now my hands full with the Oscars thing, but after that, I think in between making some videos, I'll try to find some times, at least maybe once a week, to play a game on stream or have a hangout stream like this because I think it's motivating and helpful. Let's see here. Mobile Suit Gundam. No, I have not gotten into Gundam, but I would like to. But I have not. That is uncharted territory for me. Gundam. I know it's very very iconic and beloved, and it's weird that, me being such a big Evangelion fan, I wouldn't see Gundam, which I know is a big influence on Evangelion, but I have not. So another recommendation for the books. That's why I love chat. You guys give me some great shit to watch. To watch and play as well. I am glad that the stream's working. I'm just really happy the stream's going well. And the quality's been excellent the whole time. I ran a very long extension cable, like a long Cat 5 or Cat 9 cable from my office, like my room, to the router. So because the previous streams we've been using just Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi in my area is really bad, and it's been like dipping and the quality's been kind of whatever. So I'm happy that this one's been good so far. Crazy Joe's concession stand? No, I don't. Is that No, I don't think that's is Crazy Joe the character from from Shark Tale? Is that what we're talking about, or is that something else? I know there's a Crazy Joe in Shark Tale. In terms of anime, I recommend Fate Zero. I've heard a lot about Fate, but never watched it. I will write that. I will remember that. I will note it. Fate Zero. I have a friend who's also watched the Fate series as well. Crazy Joe's Concession as a YouTuber. No, I haven't. I haven't heard of that YouTuber. Crazy Joe's Concession Stand. I've not. I have to. What do they talk about? What do they do? Speaking of games, I hope to make a video trying to beat every 6th gen game I own before my parents come back from vacation. Good luck. I hope you do it. You know, I encourage it. Trying to beating games. It can be a challenge if they're difficult games or like ones in the series you're not looking forward to or whatever. But I think it's worth, like, if you own a game, you got to beat it, or you got to at least try. You got to give it the good effort. You know what I mean? Perfect introduction to Fate. So Fate Zero is the perfect introduction to Fate. Awesome. Okay. Remember that techno horror video? Yeah, I do remember that. I do. It's definitely one to work on. I think there's good things that qualify as techno horror as well. That would be interesting. I think one of the, not really, maybe not techno, but it's something that definitely like deals with robotics and futuristic, like dystopian stuff is like, you know, I did a video talking about I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream briefly. That's one of my favorite stories ever written. Terminator definitely qualifies as that as well, I think, in its own right. Crazy Joe talks about movies. All right. I have to check that out. I like channels to talk about movies. I'm definitely one of them. There's a lot. It's also a prequel. Okay, so Fate Zero is like the good place to start, you say. That's the one where it sets the ground. It's easy to understand, you know? Ruben Brandt, collector, super cool Hungarian heist film with a Picasso-inspired art style. I have not, but I will check that out. Ruben Brandt, collector. Note that for myself, like I've been noting other things. I will. It is. Yeah. I Have No Mouth it's great. So is the game on PC that they did where Ellison himself voiced Am. Great game. Yeah, great story, great game. A lot of people don't know it's just like, it's like an 11-page short story. I've seen people that are like LARPing as having read it is really, really funny. Because they're like, oh yeah, watch or that book is so great. It's like, it's not a book. It's a short story. It's like 11 pages long. It's not that long. However, the manual, I believe, that Ellison wrote for the PC game is like super long. It's like novel length. So technically there's a book. Have some water. Have some water, as they say. Glad the mic issues seem to have stopped, or if they have, nobody's really complaining about them. I think it's just there's like a cable connection issue. I have a lot of things running to like a USB hub, which I know is probably not the best thing for what I do, but one of my USB ports on my PC just doesn't work. I have one port that works on the front, and that's it. And so I bought a hub to run my mixer, my mic, my cam link, my just all my stuff here, my controller for my games, all that kind of stuff. So is what it is. It's like LARPing up at Blood Meridian. Yeah. You know, I'm a fan of Wendigoon. I'm a big fan of Wendigoon's channel, and I don't blame him 100% for that. I think a lot of people do. I don't think that's fair. He likes it. He talked about it. He can't really help that it got that big and a lot of people bought it because of that video. I was a fan of Blood Meridian for many years before it kind of popped off in that online popularity, and I was going to make a video about it myself, but after the Wendigoon video, I was like, there's really no point in what I could say compared to what he's going to say. But I love that book, and there's a LARPing thing about it, though. There definitely is, where people are like sort of pretending they've experienced it when all they've done is watched a video on it or like read the Wikipedia article of it. Just the way it is, unfortunately. Yes, I have watched The Amazing Digital Circus. I have. Great show. Amazing that it started on YouTube. I've heard that the creator was going through some stuff with weird, like, fans that were being difficult about it. And I wish the creator, Gooseworks, well. I wish them well. It's one of those things where your show gets really big and the fan base can be kind of obnoxious and kind of loud. But the show itself is great. And I think animation-wise, it's phenomenal. Like, even like on the pilot that they did, where they didn't have, like, obviously the bigger means to do it, and the animation obviously got better in the show. It's still fantastic and super expressive, and yeah, highly inspired by I Have No Mouth as well, a much more like mischievous version of Am and like comedic version of him, but definitely a huge inspiration taken there. Chrono Trigger, I have played Chrono Trigger on Super Nintendo. I never beat it, but I have played Chrono Trigger. It's fantastic. Fan bases can be rude. Yep. Fan bases, you know, you can be a fan of something and not consider yourself part of the fan base. That's kind of how I feel with Star Wars every once in a while, a certain galaxy far, far away, where I am a huge fan of Star Wars and the fan base makes me want to not be a big fan of Star Wars every once in a while. The way they behave to the actors and to the creators and all that kind of thing, unfortunately, makes it difficult to talk about online. A lot of things are, but you shouldn't let yourself be intimidated out of talking about something, though. I will say I've had to wrestle with that a little bit. But yeah, they have one of the worst fan bases. I agree. It's Star Wars' fan base is very toxic and difficult, and they get angry at you when you suggest that too, where it's like you guys are being really toxic and weird about stuff, and then they get super weird about it. I think the Jacksepticeye Blood Meridian news, I think that might have been a meme. I don't think that's true. I think that might have been a discussing fish instead of a discussing film article. Would have to double check. I have not heard anything about that. From the last I heard, it is the guy that directed the Road film with Viggo Mortensen. He's the one that's doing the Blood Meridian film. Interested in that, but I don't know if it's going to capture the book in any way. I don't think there's any McCarthy film or McCarthy-based film that captured the book and even elevated it other than No Country. I think No Country for Old Men is the only Cormac McCarthy film based on his work that lives up to and in some cases exceeds the work itself. Phenomenal film. Book feels unfilmable. Yeah, a lot of directors said it was unfilmable. A lot of directors have said over the time. I think Ridley Scott had tried to do Blood Meridian at one point and said it was unfilmable because it's such a, not only the scale of like the tragedy of things that happen in it and the scope of the depravity that happens in it, but the book has a vibe that I don't think you can recapture in a film that's going to try and appeal to a lot of people. In a way that makes it money, I guess. It'll probably do well based on the fact that it's Blood Meridian and that kind of got popular, but will it be enough? I don't know. We'll see. I'm skeptical. Gotta head out. All right, talk to you later. Jesse, see you at the Oscars thing tomorrow if you show up. Thank you for chatting. Loved it. Gravity Falls is getting a new art book. I did not, but I'm sure Liz did. I did not hear that Gravity Falls was getting a new art book, but I know for a fact my friend Liz probably did because they're probably going to get it. Big Gravity Falls fan. I am too. I am too. Man, time flies. Time flies when you're having a good time chatting with people. With like-minded people that are super chill and get what you're all about. I will say something that's gonna... Should I point this out? I'm not gonna point this out, actually. About something on my video. If I point it out, it's gonna bother all of you. And it's bothering me. But I'm not gonna put all of you through that. So you know. We'll see. I'll tell you after the Oscar stream if I fix it. I'll tell you what it was, and then you can go back to this and be like, oh my god, that would have bugged me if he had told me about it. Did you hear? Wait, hold on. One prediction I have for tomorrow is Stellan winning Best Actor. I think, or Supporting Actor. I think that would be awesome. I think that'd be fantastic. I loved Sentimental Value. I think that, man, just the. I wrote about this a little bit in my Letterboxd review of it, which I know, like my Letterboxd review, but about the space of the film and the way that they use the house specifically. Beautiful. And how the film itself is about things that have sentimental value and things that have meaning to you. And I love that the film begins with this sort of homage to a home itself. It's beautiful. If you haven't seen Sentimental Value, Joachim Trier, I butchered that name, and I know I did. Sorry to you. You're a fantastic director. I'm so sorry. Check that out. Check out Sentimental Value. For Stellan Skarsgård performance as well. He's incredible in it. Excited for the regular show reboot. I didn't know they were doing a regular show reboot. I didn't know that. I'm checking that out. Brian Hull, like Brain Hull. I do not know who that is. Fantastic Voyage. Yes, I am aware of Fantastic Voyage. I have not seen it in its entirety, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Maybe. I could be thinking of something else. Fantastic Voyage. Hold on. Fantastic Voyage. Wait. Okay, I don't think I have seen this then. I was thinking of Fantastic Planet. I was thinking of something else. Hello. Welcome in. Heard great things about Sentimental Value, but even without that film, Stellan's incredible actor, especially as Luthen. Yes. Oh my god, yes. Luthen in Andor, and the Baron in Dune as well. What a great couple years he's been having as an actor. And Andor cinema. Doing one of these. Scorsese. Absolute cinema. If you haven't seen Andor, check out Andor, guys, for real. Best Star Wars thing Disney's put out. Have you seen Hoppers? I haven't seen Hoppers yet. It's in theaters right now. I haven't seen it. I also need to watch. I'll probably watch it tonight as well, since, well, actually no, I don't think it's a given. I think K-Pop Demon Hunters is going to take that animated feature Oscar tomorrow. I do think it's going to, for the significance and the popularity of it, but I think Zootopia 2 is another contender, and I need to watch that. I'll probably watch that tonight. It's on Disney Plus now, I think. Yeah, the one with the shrieking sub. I have not seen that one. No, I have not seen Fantastic Voyage. I was thinking of Fantastic Planet, a different movie. Wish I could watch Andor for the first time again. I feel that way about a lot of art, but Andor, yeah. Andor is such a breath of fresh air for Star Wars, you know? And my takes on Disney Star Wars, there's no safe way to give those takes either. Let's just say I like a lot of it, even though a lot of people don't. I think Andor is without a doubt the best thing they've done, and I think most people are in agreement on that. I hope they are anyway. I watched the Reese movie. I wish the Reese movie got nominated. Yeah, I have not seen that Chainsaw Man film, but I want to really bad, as I love the show, and I haven't read all the manga yet, but I've had friends tell me I got to see the Reese movie. Yo Montgomery, what's up? So any live action One Piece? I saw the first season with Elizabeth, and we're gonna watch the second one, I think, at some point, because we like the first one quite a bit, actually. That's from someone who's not a One Piece literate person. The live action, I think, did a good job. From fans, they said it was a good job too. I have not seen the OG One Piece. I've read some of it, but not watched it. Andor is the most adult thing to come out of Disney Star Wars. Yeah, it is. I think it really reached. Dude, just go watch it. Like, I want everybody to watch Andor. I think, especially if you're a Star Wars fan, and someone who wants that thing that's going to make you feel like Star Wars used to make you feel while also touching new things with the franchise and with the story, you need to see Andor. There's the big three. Love Bleach. I remember reading Bleach as a kid. Looking forward to Brad Bird's Ray Gun. Yes, I am. Especially since I think it's a revived project from him as well. That he, if I remember right, I could be totally wrong about this, but I think he was working on something like that a while back under that title, and it just never happened, and I'm glad they're giving him the chance to make that. I love Brad Bird. Didn't care for Tomorrowland, but that doesn't mean it's gonna undo the great work he's done after and before, you know? He's been trying to make it since the 80s. Yep, that's what okay, I'm glad I was right about that. I think the Maul animated series looks pretty dope. I know a lot of people are kind of cynical about Filoni and the Clone Wars stuff, but I think the animation looks great. I like the character of Maul. I made a whole video about Maul. My only issue with it is I do wonder what you could do left with that character to justify it. You know what I mean? Like, Maul had a great arc in the Clone Wars that was built on his character in the film and was done really. We have a beginning, middle, end of that character. We have everything we could want of him. I don't know what more you could do with that show, in my opinion. I'm excited for it because I do like the people involved with it, and I do love the way it looks. I like the character of Maul, so I'm interested in watching it, and I will watch it. I just don't know what more you could do with Maul. I just don't know. But we'll see. Wallace and Gromit ranking. That'd be fun. I'd have to watch all of them. I've seen a lot. I'll do that. You know what? I'll consider that. I'll go and watch the first Wallace and Gromit, like, short to the newest film, which I have seen and I loved it, by the way. We have the anti-fascist message of Star Wars, which, excuse me, was that woke? Are you trying to say Star Wars is woke, bro? God, Star Wars has never been woke. It wasn't until Disney bought it. Yeah, man, it was never about defeating fascism or about imperialism. It was never about that till the lefties got a hold of it. Freaking woke wars, am I right? Maul had one of the best arcs for any Star Wars character ever. Yes. So the Mandalorian movie, mixed feelings. I didn't care for the last season of the show, but I will say this, and I know I'm gonna be like that guy in the Norman Rockwell painting that stands up in the church, but I think it looks fun. I think it looks fun. That's all I want out of it, really. Just to be a good time. You know what I mean? Like, Star Wars is, at the end of the day, as Lucas has said many times, it's something made for fun for kids, and I think you can have Star Wars be, like, intense and dark and, like, politically charged and very intelligent, like the original trilogy, but also like Andor, which leans into it even more. The more of the anti-fascist messages and the anti, like, government messages that it has, and like imperialism and all that kind of stuff. But you can also have a fun romp, which I think The Mandalorian can be. And that's kind of what I want it to be. The only issue I think I have so far with the trailers and stuff is that, one, I don't think it's shot very well. I think it's kind of got that bland sort of like TV streaming series color grading and flat look of like composition to it. But the movie may look different. You never know. Maybe it's showing us just the stuff they can show us for the trailer. And the other issue I have with it is I'm so concerned that it's just going to be like 3 episodes of The Mandalorian edited into one movie. That's my fear. I don't want that. I want it to be its own original thing. And I hope it is, because apparently they were planning it. But like Moana 2 was just like 2 episodes of the show like made into a movie. And that's what this gives off, that energy to me. And I'm concerned about that. KOTOR is another piece of Star Wars media. Oh yeah. Very adult themes and very like, dude, KOTOR, awesome. KOTOR and KOTOR 2. Nice of the Old Republic. Good Star Wars shit, man. I have a couple Old Republic books back there on that shelf. I've got 100 Star Wars books. I counted. I have 100 Star Wars books. I'm probably gonna. It's taking a lot of room on the shelf, but I'm happy that I have them, especially since they were all like pre-Legends, so they don't have the Legends branding on them. They have like when they were canon. May part with some of them though, just because Need the shelf space and the money, so we'll see. Darth Nihilus, yes. Amazing character. Amazing villain. Floating mask. Absorbing fucking planets and shit. Have you seen Leica's? Well, I have seen the Wildwood teaser. I follow Leica on Instagram, and I love their behind the scenes stuff that they're doing. Favorite zombie movie? I think it's a stock answer, but it's a movie I love dearly. It's Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead. I had the poster in that frame back there. Now it's over here. I change the frame poster every once in a while, but that's my favorite OG zombie movie. My favorite Romero film. Groundbreaking film, set the standard for the genre, and if I had to pick one that wasn't a Romero movie, I think a pretty good like heavy hitter is probably Return of the Living Dead, which is just a blast of a movie to watch. Super funny, unique take on zombies. I love the way they talk in that movie about like brains specifically. And I love the humor in the movie. Clu Gulager is like super funny in it, and so is the guy that plays the head of like the gang and the punks is super fucking funny. I love that movie. So it's Night of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead, which are not related, by the way. People think that they're not. It's two different things, but love those. And as Nicholas says here, the 28 Years Later movies. Like Bone Temple and 28 Years Later are great zombie films. Like they're great spins. I know they're technically not zombies. It's like a rage virus, but it's basically zombies, and it's a unique take on it that I think is actually going places with the genre, which I don't think that we're not, or I don't think we're getting lately. We're getting a lot of like stagnant zombie stuff. Send More Cops. Is that a zombie film? I've never heard of that. I think that'd be fun. Good title. Send More Cops. Dude, in my head, right now, all that's in my head is the Resident Evil like save room and like RPD music because I'm playing through 2 right now. Ads. Oh, is there ads going? Excited for Spider-Man Noir? Yeah. Yes, I am. I think it looks pretty sweet. I know they're gonna offer like a color and black and white version, but like, dude, who's watching the color version? The black and white looks so good in the trailers. It looks so good, and it fits for the noir theme of it. Love Nicolas Cage. Love Spider-Man. I'll be checking that out. I will be. Oh, from Return to Living Dead 2. Okay, I got you. I know what you're saying. I haven't seen the second one in a minute, but I remember that was the one where they found out that electrocution, like zapping them, is what kills them. If I remember right, I could be wrong. It's been years since I've seen that one. I've watched the first one the most, Return to Living Dead 1. So it's been a minute. Channeling Sin City. That's not a bad thing to channel. Spider Noir, that's not a bad influence. Sin City. Love your videos on animation and horror. Dig your channel. Thank you so much. Max is making stuff. Thank you so much for that. Sorry it took me a minute to read the name. My weird mole vision looking at my chat here. It's messed up. But thank you so much. That means a lot. I really appreciate that. Thoughts on Toy Story 5? Okay. I don't love it. I don't love the way it looks. I am... Well, okay, I'll put it this way. Visually stunning, as all Pixar movies are. The story-wise, I don't care enough. I didn't love Toy Story 4. So, for me, like, I don't know. I'll wait and see, because Toy Story 3 was one that really hit emotionally and shouldn't have. Like, that should have been like a legacy sequel, whatever, and it wasn't. It was just a great movie. Like, it fits right in. So, I hope that Toy Story 5 is something like that, but I just don't know how I feel about Toy Story 5 because I didn't care for 4. It's all love, it's all good. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Sin City is based on a comic. Frank Miller, before he lost his mind. Frank Miller wrote that, and it's great. Concept sounds 3, but 3 was the perfect ending. That's how I think most people feel. Is Toy Story 3 was like the ending. It put a nice bow on everything, and then 4 felt like a cash grab, but like a really pretty cash grab that had really good visuals and really nice score. And again, no Toy Story movie is terrible by any means, but I did not like 4. And I have issues with 3, but they're very minor issues. I think 2 is perfect, in my opinion. Thoughts on Lanterns? Excited. I wish there was more to it than what they've been showing. I know there's a trailer, but like, I want to see more Green Lantern stuff in it. But I am excited for Lanterns. I'm excited for most of what the DCU is going to be. Yes, I did hear that Dana Terrace is writing an Owl House graphic novel. We'll have to talk about that whenever Liz and I do the Owl House season 2 video on their channel, which is happening. It's been a minute. With the Owl House video, that is going to happen. I know it's been a while, but that's just because the Owl House thing was a us project that we did together, and we wanted to do it like together. Like, we want to do this together. We want to do it as our thing. I don't want to do it myself, and they don't want to do it themselves. We want to do it because we both got into the. Elizabeth got me into the show, and without Elizabeth, I wouldn't be able to do it. So we're working our schedules together to make Owl House season 2 and season 3 videos. So keep an eye out. But yes, I'm excited for the graphic novel. That may be the spark that we need to make that happen. Soul is your favorite Pixar film of the 2020s. Soul's pretty good. Soul is pretty solid. What TV show are you embarrassed that you liked? I wouldn't say embarrassed, but anything Gordon Ramsay does, I'm watching. Even though it's kind of trash TV and kind of like very simple consumerist, like fluff reality TV shows stuff, I'll watch Gordon Ramsay stuff all day. Lanterns looks cool, especially after how good the Penguin and Superman were. Agreed. If I had a blank check, is there a director to a series I'd want to revive or continue? If I had a blank check, something I want to bring back. You know what? I'll throw you a curveball here. It would be PT. Bring back Silent Hills with Kojima. It's a game, but if I had the money, I'd be like, Kojima, I bought this from Konami. Make PT, make Silent Hills happen. There you go. Bring back Gravity Falls. Yeah. Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor is one of my favorite villain performances of any superhero movie. Agreed. 1A. 1A, as he says. Elizabeth's channel is Flee the Lair. Flee the Lair. I linked to it in the descriptions of videos we've done together. Love Elizabeth's channel, and we've made a few things there, and Elizabeth's done some good things on their own on that channel, and has been working on some things privately for the channel as well. So keep an eye out. Where's the lamb sauce? Dude, we'll never know. Gordon's still asking. Took him forever to get it. The blue team really screwed that up. Yeah. I think the Lex in Superman is kind of phenomenal. I don't know how the casting director, which, you know, now that we have a casting director Oscar, which is pretty sweet, they probably should have been acknowledged, but I don't know how the casting director found the real life Superman, Lois Lane, and Lex Luthor for that movie. Didn't know they existed, but they did, and they're right there. Avengers Doomsday. My thoughts on Avengers Doomsday. I could not care less, if I'm being completely honest with you. If people are hyped for it, that's cool, and I wish I could be, but I just don't think the hype is there right now. You know, for me, especially since I love Doom and the Fantastic Four, and I like Robert Downey Jr. I think Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor, and I don't think he'll do bad at all. I think he'll do a good job. But the casting choice to me is so transparent as to why they did it. It's because they're running out of money, and they need to have Iron Man back in some kind of fashion and form to make money. That's how I feel about it. So, sadly, not big into it. One thing about Iron Lung, I liked Iron Lung. I liked it quite a bit. I did like Iron Lung. I think it is a strong debut for Mr. Iplier himself, Mr. Fishbach, Mr. Markiplier. And I'd love to see more from him as a director. Yes, Emesis Blue I have heard of. I think it's pretty sweet, actually, from what I've seen of it. I need to sit down and actually watch all of it. But dude, the Source filmmaker stuff is so interesting to me, and the stuff people have done with Team Fortress. I love internet stuff like that. I love internet creators using like existing things to make horror. Fantastic. It's coming out the same day as Dune Part 2, which makes me want to see it less. I think Dune Part 2 is gonna, or Part 3, Dune Part 3 is going to mog Avengers at the box office. I really think it's going to. I just don't think the people are, like, the hype is there. I could be totally wrong, but again, I'm in my own internet bubble, I guess you could say. So maybe I'm totally willing to be proven wrong about this. I'm sure I will be, but there's a high likelihood I could be. But I don't think the hype is there for the Marvel thing as much as it used to be. Yes, I know Pattinson is playing, well, I don't want to reveal his character to people that haven't read Messiah, but he's a great choice for the character, and I'm interested to see how they're going to pull it off, if you know who I'm talking about. Impractical Jokers. I have watched Impractical Jokers. I enjoyed it quite a bit when it was on True TV. Or when I used to watch True TV a lot. Dude, Detroit Become Human stream. A David Cage stream. I'll think about it. Spider-Man Brand New Day. I am interested in that. I'm interested in that more than I am Doomsday, because I think Brand New Day has somewhere to go. Like, I really liked No Way Home, so I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that. So that one I am interested in terms of Marvel. Homestar Runner. I know what Homestar Runner is, but I'm not, like, super familiar with it. But I'm aware of Homestar Runner. I'm vaguely aware of it. Man, thanks for all the recommendations and stuff, guys. Man. Just in my seat here a little bit. This is not, if you'll notice, this is not the Flex-A-Spot chair that I did an ad for. Love that chair, by the way. Not even sponsored by them anymore, but love the chair. Unfortunately, the cylinder broke, and I haven't been able to get it repaired, so I had to get my OG, my old little office chair out. Had to haul it upstairs. Thanks to Montgomery for that one. Shout out. But gotta get it fixed. Yeah, was very excited for Dune Messiah. Agreed with you, man. Clayface movie looks really interesting because Mike Flanagan's doing it, and I love Mike Flanagan, so I'll be seeing that one. Good Tarantino movies, some good Quentin Tortellini movies. My favorites probably Kill Bill, both of them. Both are pretty great. Those are my favorites anyway. I also love Death Proof. I'm a big Death Proof fan. I know a lot of fans aren't, and I know Tarantino himself doesn't like it. I like Death Proof. That's one I'm a defender of Death Proof. I think he nails the grindhouse aesthetic in that film quite a bit. Get a drink here. It's funny to watch myself drink on the screen here. You guys ever seen pictures of Shaq drinking a normal sized water bottle? You guys ever seen that? It's crazy. Like, in a normal sized water bottle in Shaq's hands is like that big. It's really funny to watch if you look up a picture of it. Scavenger's Reign. I have not seen Scavenger's Reign, but I've been told a lot of great things about it. Disney's Hunchback is the darkest G-rated movie ever. I would say it's Disney's darkest G-rated movie. Although I don't think it's G-rated. Wait a minute. I don't think it's G-rated. Let me double check. Is Disney's Hunchback G rated. It is G. You're right. It's rated G. Well, definitely. In that case, yes, it is rated G. Apparently it's rated G, although, well, okay, I used Google's AI came up for that, so, you know, their AI summary, which I hate, but yeah, it's, if that's the case, yes. Without a doubt. But yeah, it's definitely their darkest, I would say. The darkest G-rated movie ever, though, is probably like Watership Down or Plague Dogs, because those are like public ratings or whatever. Those are like the UK's equivalent of G. I would say those probably qualify more. Favorite James Cameron film? Easily Terminator 2. It's that, Terminator 2 and True Lies. My favorites. Probably Black Cauldron. Yeah, Black Cauldron's a pretty dark one for Disney. I recognize the Shaq meme, yeah. Huge hands on that guy. Like, just everything about him, like, it's just so funny to watch. Like, I remember a friend of mine pointed that out because we were watching like a compilation of him on like Sports Center or whatever, like funny moments or whatever, and he picked up a drink, and like a normal bottle in his hand is like the size of like this mouse in mine. I couldn't really show it, but really small, and he's like, it's just really funny. Aliens, dope. Love Aliens. One of the best sequels ever. Can't beat it. And they never did any more. Black Cauldron's PG, yeah. Black Cauldron's also based off some pretty good book fantasy novels. Good fantasy novels, apparently. We haven't even dropped any frames. Look at that, guys. Look at us, guys. Look at us. Look how good we're doing on this stream here. No dropped frames, no nothing. It's running well. It looks good. I'm so proud of myself. I should be. Should be allowed to be proud of myself. Clue is a great movie. Clue is a great movie. How's Hunchback G and Frozen's PG? I don't know. That's a bit odd. I don't know, maybe I think there's like a switch in, like, back in the day we used to be less lax on PG. Now we're more like, or I guess less strict on PG. Now we're more strict. We're more strict than we used to be. We're less lax than we used to be, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's a weird one. I definitely think Hunchback is more deserving of that PG than Frozen is. What got me into making YouTube videos? I've been wanting to make a video for a while, but I'm lazy. I feel that. Wanting to make YouTube videos, I think for me, there are definitely channels that I watch that were inspiring, but and definitely people that I credit to my inspiration for doing what I do. But definitely for me, I made a video because I had something to talk about that I needed to talk about, and I really wanted to do it for a while, and it was something I felt I had to do, and started doing it. Did not think I was gonna get the audience that I have, which, you know, I'm nowhere near like a top tier YouTuber in terms of like numbers, but 30,000 subscribers is a lot. That's a lot of people, and I never thought that was gonna happen. And it's because I simply had something to talk about, and I didn't really care if it did well or not. It was just, I got something to say, and I try to remember that when I make every video. Is like, how do you feel about this? Is there something you want to talk about? Do you feel passionate about it enough to talk about it to a lot of people? Do you want people to check this out, and you're just, I want you guys to see this and feel the way I feel about it, and put your thoughts out there? And that's something that got me into doing it. Was I had to say something about how I felt about the things I was talking about. And of course, great YouTuber inspirations. Super Eye Patch Wolf is a big one, and a bunch of other video essayists that I could point to, but they're one of the biggest. Super Eye Patch Wolf is a huge one for me. Jacob Yeller as well. Thomas Flight. There's a lot. Well, I watch a lot of video essays, I would say. I have not read Bone. No. I had friends that did, but I have not. Nothing in Frozen has any image as scary as Hunchback. That's true. I agree. I agree with you. A nostalgia critic movie filmed like a serious documentary. You know, I think old Doug has a fascinating story to be told. I think there's something there. In terms of inspirations, that was one when I was much younger. Was Nostalgia Critic and AVGN. Those were textbook for me. Speaking of like inspirational YouTubers for myself and people that whatever, and we're talking about Hunchback as well. I did a video, one of my more viewed videos and one of my personal favorites on Hellfire from Hunchback. Very passionate about that song and that movie. And a couple months ago, or I think about a month ago, Sideways, which is a great YouTuber, makes amazing videos about music and film music and composition, and did great videos on Transformers and cats and all these great videos about that. He did a video on Hellfire, and I was super excited because I just loved the channel, and I clicked the video like, oh, he did a movie about the song that I love, or a video about the song that I love from that movie, and I click it. In the first few minutes, he mentions me in it and talks about my video and shouts me out. That was so cool, and did not need to do that and say those nice things about what I said. That meant a lot from a channel that was so huge and also had been around for a while, and someone I was a fan of and have been a fan of. So I commented on the video as well, but dude, Sideways, thank you for that. That was so motivating and so cool to see another channel acknowledge what I do. It feels like I'm a peer in a way. It's validating in a weird way. Thank you for that. That meant a lot. He did a great Sweeney Todd video. He did. Yeah, the Pixar video he did was fantastic. I love Sideways. Great channel. Please watch Sideways. My God. Not that he needs my help, but, you know, please check out Sideways, guys. Turns 30. The Hunchback's going to be 30 years old this year. I hope Disney does something with that. I don't think they will, other than like tweet about it or something. But I'm just glad they're not remaking it. I heard that the remake plans were scrapped, and I'm like, yes, let's not do that. Yeah, he did a video about episode 9's music. Yeah. Great channel. Love it. That was super cool. Especially like since I was watching that video to be like, oh, like, oh yes, I just want to watch another video about about that song, because I've seen a lot of videos about that song. A lot of videos about that song inspired me, and then I show up, I was like, that's surreal. That's a surreal thing. 30 years old, man. 30 years old, that movie. That's how I feel about like games I grew up with. Like, dude, Revenge of the Sith had like its 25th anniversary or something, and I was like, I saw that 25 years ago in fucking theaters. Jesus, me and my brother, my dad. Here's the thing, you know, about that, Nicholas. Yeah, nowadays a lot of Disney's very sanitized, and they wouldn't take the risks that they take, but also I feel like they would try really hard to replicate those things as well, in a way, because they'd be like, look, see, we're dark just like the original, but it would come off very hollow, and it would miss the point as to why those things were the way they were in the original. You know, like it wouldn't feel authentic. I'm with you. I am completely with you, but I think they would try to recreate those dark moments in a way that misses the point as to why they were there, not just to be dark and edgy, but to have a thematic purpose, you know. Favorite comic? Man, that's a hard question. Love Watchmen. Obviously, I think Watchmen's amazing, but in terms of like a superhero comic book run, I would say I'm a big fan of the Fantastic Four run by, oh man, the name is gonna bug me. I'll have to look it up in a second, but Fantastic Four had a run in the early 2000s that was super good. By did that? Who did that comic? Mark Waid. It was Mark Waid's Fantastic Four run is really, really good. And I also love Matt Fraction's current Batman run is really, really good. And Matt Fraction also wrote Sex Criminals, which despite the very horrible title is a great comic, and Elizabeth got me into that, so I'd recommend that as well. Yeah, Mark Waid. That's who I'm talking about, Mark Waid. The Absolute Universe is super good. Absolute Batman's fucking awesome. And Matt Fraction's Batman run as well is so good. So good. Highly recommend it. Oh, yeah. Smiling Friends. Yeah. Moment of silence for that, Montgomery. Moment of silence for that. You know, I'm glad I had a good run, and I'm glad that they ended it on their terms. That's how I feel about that. I know a lot of people were like, oh, you know, they're not gonna, what about the animators not getting any work? And it's like, in between seasons, animators don't, from what I understand, don't get, like, they are looking for other work in between seasons. They just didn't think they thought they were gonna come back to Smiling Friends, and they didn't get to. And like, yeah, that sucks, but at the same time, people were super chill about it. They didn't treat the staff badly from what I heard or anything like that. So it was a good choice, I think, because you want to go out when you're on top, you know? That's how I feel about it. I wish there was more, of course, but love Smiling Friends. We will miss it. That's true. I will miss Smiling Friends a lot. Great show. Great laughs. One of the best animated series in a while. Do catch up on Fraction's Batman. It's very good. Disney's Tarzan had a lot of great shit in it. A lot of great stuff. I think that movie, I think, got better on rewatches for me. When I was younger, I liked it, and then when I got older, I didn't really think it held up super well for a minute, but then I did a rewatch of a couple Disney movies not too long ago, and I really like Tarzan. I think that holds up very well. I think there's good shit in that. Your land starts at the post, dude. At the post. Get a fucking surveyor, man. Like, that's a great Smiling Friends bin. You know, I've always said that a good movie length is a good 90 minutes, hour and a half, and we've done that here on this stream, on this little test stream. Turned it into something cool, a nice little hangout. I want to do these more. I want to hang out with you guys, play some games. Next time I'll play a game. How about that? We'll do the Oscar stream tomorrow, and I'm gonna start that. I don't know what I'm planning to start it around 4 or 5 or so. That's when they'll be doing like some of the red carpet stuff. That'll give us time to chat before the show. I'll send out a message for that on like the community page and also like my socials and stuff, so keep an eye on that. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump off the live, and I'm glad everything's working. This is a good setup for tomorrow. I'll probably be facing my computer more, so I'll probably adjust the camera a little bit there, but I'll be watching the Oscars tomorrow, and we will talk about the winners for that, who we think's gonna win, all that good stuff, and just about movies in general, about anything. You know, I love chatting with everybody, and I'll play some games on stream as well after that. I think that's something we want to do. Keep an eye out for the new videos. They're coming. I have great topics, and I'm very excited about the topics we're talking about, especially like the next one, without giving away what it is it's kind of funny with like recent news, how that kind of worked out. But I'll let you know what I mean when that comes out. It'll probably be out after the Oscar stream. So thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out with me for an hour and a half. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all your questions and your encouragement and your support of the channel as always. Go check out my other videos, and go check out like what we've talked about here tonight. Give me a follow on socials if you haven't. I'm not really active on socials, but you know, I'll respond if someone says something to me. And go consider going to the Patreon if you want to see more exclusive content. So thank you so much for being with me. I will talk to you guys tomorrow at the Oscar stream. Have a good night. See you tomorrow, everybody.